of my brothers and sisters. I wonder if this works better at night than it does in the daytime. In the name of Allah, the all-wise, true and living God, to whom all praise is due, the Lord of all the worlds, whom we forever thank for giving us as our leader and teacher, the one who's here in America, in the person of the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, you know, I was very surprised a few moments ago to see so many Muslims. I think that you can't go very many places in North America and see this many registered followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in one city. It's good. I think that if the messenger were able to be here tonight, he would be very pleased at the rapid rate of speed at which his teaching has spread here in Los Angeles. Imagine everybody here from Los Angeles. Maybe somebody here from San Francisco. Maybe some of y'all come down from San Francisco. Everybody's from L.A., right? All y'all from L.A.? Well, it is. I'm glad too that we called the meeting tonight of both brothers and sisters, and one of our reasons for doing so was it's impossible for a man, especially a married man, to do what he should if his wife doesn't know what that is, and it's impossible for her to do what she should if her husband doesn't know what that is. And one of the mistakes husband and wife make today, and sometimes it's done in the MGT, the wife doesn't know what burden her husband is carrying on his shoulder, and the husband doesn't know what burden his wife is carrying on her shoulder. So she can't help him and he can't help her. But if they would do like they did, like they promised each other they were going to do before they did it, they would exchange, they would keep each other aware of the burden that each one had to carry, and they could carry each other's burden together. You know, you didn't come out to hear this, but I want to mention it anyway. A married man and wife, or a couple, or just what it says, couple, meaning they're together. When you couple a thing together, you join it, it's together. According to my understanding of the word couple, it might mean something else. And a man and his wife are like the body. The body moves on two legs, as long as both of those legs are going in the same direction. We may not realize it, but you can study the functioning of the human body and solve almost any problem that you have, because the whole universe was made according or from the same law, from the same principle. And in order for my body to move, I have to use one of these legs to take a step. But my left leg can't step unless my right leg is firmly planted on the ground. And when I bring my left leg down and make it firm, then I can move the right leg. This is what enables the body to move. One of these legs must always be firmly founded in order for the other one to take a step. And then when you put this one down, you move this one. That's what moves the body, is that right? As long as both of those legs are going in the same direction, the body makes progress. But if the one leg is going this way and one leg is going that way, neither of you go anywhere. You are keeping, this one is keeping this one from going, and this one is keeping that one from going. Can you see that? That is simple. And you can easily, when I say study the human body, likewise in your home. A husband and wife must be walking in the same direction in order for that household to make progress. Usually when you find a home that makes no progress whatsoever, they're going in different directions. You may think that you are dumb and that's what's causing your poverty. Well, that's probably true. But you can even be dumb and get rich if you get together. No matter how smart you are, if you're tied up with someone who's going in a different direction than you are, you're never going anywhere. Either the husband has to follow the wife or the wife has to follow the husband. But both of them can't go like this and go forward. Do you understand? I think that that's good to understand, because it's the key to your and my making progress in the temple also. Just as you have a wife and a husband in the home, we have an MGT and an FOI in the mosque. And just as the wife is not independent of the husband and the husband is not independent of the wife, but they are both a couple or a team, that's the same way in the mosque. The MGT and the FOI are a couple. We're a team. In the home, although both husband and wife are equal, still man's authority exceeds the authority of the woman by a few degrees, doesn't it? No, you don't really believe that. You just said yes, sir, to make me happy. Can you see this, though? Because when someone says that the man is the head of the house, that doesn't mean that the man is lord and master over the woman. This is right on time. You all not going to like my saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. If I was teaching in New York yesterday, and that light flickered, someone would have fixed it before sun went down. You don't wait on no mystery God for anything. See, when you have visitors in here, and we're teaching them everything is right and exact, we have to be right and exact. Because if they see us with something that's defective 2 or 3 or 4 days in a row, they're never going to follow us. We have to show them that everything that goes out of whack, we fix it right there and there. You understand that? Now, excuse me for being blunt and frank, but that's what I'm here for. During the next couple of weeks, it's my intention to be as blunt and as frank with everyone as it's possible to be. So, getting back to the other light, this is good to understand, because if we have a situation where the wife is constantly competing with her husband, or the husband is constantly competing with his wife, it's impossible for any of them to make progress. And one of the basic differences between the home structure of the white family and the so-called Negro family, the white man in his home is always the head of the house. That's his position. And the white woman will keep him in that position. Her intelligence makes her keep him in that position. What the devil did is train you and me to fight each other. He doesn't have to fight us. No white man holding us down today. We're holding each other down. He doesn't have to do it now. It's like I read a story once where they caught an elephant and put a rope on him, and the rope was only 10 feet long. And after they kept that elephant tied to that stake for a long time, got him used to it, he'd go to the end of the rope and stop. Go to the end of the rope and stop. Then they took the rope off, and he'd walk up there and stop. He didn't even know the rope was gone. Well, the devil did the same thing with us. The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man. So you can't stand up and say to your woman, I'm a man. If you're that, you don't even have to say that. Don't you look like telling someone you're a man? You make it sound like you're doubtful. I mean, am I right or wrong? No. If I had to come in here and tell you that I was a minister, why, good night. You must not know what I am. I'd be ashamed to tell you that. If you didn't know that I was that, I would never say it, because something would be lacking. Is that right or wrong? Same way with manhood. When you have to tell someone, I'm a man too, why you think so-called Negro have to tell a white man, I'm a man same as you? Because you're not a man the same as he. No, this man got factories. Banks. That's what make him a man, brother. When you get the same thing, your woman will say, man. You know that? You come up with a bank. Brother, your wife will call you a man all the way across town. You won't never have to tell her you boss. She'll call you boss. Call you daddy and mean it. You may say, well, what did you call us out here for tonight? To try and show what we can do when we know who we are, when we know what we are, then we know what we are supposed to do. If you know what a man is supposed to do, what do you do? What a man's supposed to do. If you know what a woman is supposed to do, you do what a woman is supposed to do. Only reason you may not be acting like a woman today is you don't know what a woman's supposed to act like. Then you don't. Let's face it. If you got intelligence enough to know that he doesn't act like a man, and this is what you say, whether you tell him that or not, you whisper it to each other. you get among each other and gossip and say, "Come on, brothers, and nothing." And every time you say it, you destroy him. You make it impossible for him to be something. You bring him down, and you can't bring yourself up. He has to bring you up. It's he who lifts you up. When you see how he lifts you up, you'll always be building him up and making him strong so he can hold you up. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, you don't. Look what I'm saying. If you understood his position and understood your position, you would constantly be strengthening his position so he could then help you take your position. Only reason you're out now scrubbing floors is because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Only reason you got to go into the factory, the only reason you got to make it in the morning is because he doesn't know how to make it. If he was making it, you wouldn't have to make it. Is that right or wrong? Now, because he is not making it doesn't give you an excuse to henpeck him. What you should stop and consider is, why isn't he making it? And once you find out why isn't he making it, you discover that missing ingredient, then put that missing ingredient in him. When I was single, I always had malnutrition, right? I was a Muslim, brother. I run all over the country, eating some everywhere, and you can't eat right eating everywhere. So I always was anemic, run down by not eating properly. And by not eating properly doesn't mean I wasn't eating Muslim food. But everybody has certain defects that are characteristic of himself and are different from other people's defects. So I remember I used to go to the messenger's house, and he used to try and get me to eat up a lot of food and on and so forth. So I never got straight until I got married. I got married, and within 6 months after I got married, I wasn't anemic anymore. Why? Because my wife, by being a nurse and by being in the MGT and by learning what Allah taught the messenger toward foods and toward cooking and things of that sort, she was able to find out what I was deficient in, and whenever she prepared my meal, she made certain that I had a surplus of that in which I was deficient. Can you understand that? Now, what? If she condemned me because I was quick to get tired or get out of breath or run down, she never could have straightened me out. But see, as a Muslim sister in the MGT, she's taught to study her husband and find out where is her husband lacking. What is he lacking in? And then when you discover what he's lacking in, you don't condemn him. You go and show that you can fill your role by augmenting that where he was weak. Do you understand? This is what makes you a woman, and this is what makes you a man. If you can't look at your husband and find out his defects and then strengthen his defects, you aren't worthy of him. You don't deserve a husband. Am I right or wrong? I'm telling you the truth. Some of y'all got husbands that you don't deserve. And some of y'all got wives that you don't deserve. So when we find out that both of us have been blessed with something that we don't deserve, then we start looking at ourselves and try and do something about it. Is that right or wrong? This is why, what I mean when I said that, the only way the body can move is when this foot is firmly founded. And then this one moves. And when this one is straight, then this one moves. But they helping each other. Because this one is trying to get off, it don't mean it's trying to leave this one. It's just stepping out. And this one got sense enough to know that this one isn't getting away. You don't catch up. You don't hold each other back. You don't refuse to let this one step off thinking that it's going to get ahead of you. But this is the way the black man and the woman here in America is. The old devil have absolutely taught us to be afraid that this one is going to get farther than that one. And we spend so much time holding each other down, holding each other back with our malicious tongue, sometimes other things, that none of us can get up and get ahead. Is that right or wrong? Islam is designed to eliminate all that. Islam destroys that. Islam eliminates all barriers between Muslims. When there's a barrier between you and another Muslim, you're not a Muslim. A barrier doesn't come between two Muslims. One of them is not a Muslim. Either both of them aren't Muslims or one of them isn't a Muslim. Because if both of them are Muslims, there's no barrier. Same way with a man and his wife. How can there be a barrier between you and your husband if both of you are Muslims? You believe in Allah, he believes in Allah. You following the messenger, he's following the messenger. You trying to live the life of Islam, he's trying to live Islam life. Where is the difference? Don't you know that I cite these things because we have to face it. It is impossible for you and me as Muslims to have barriers between us or to have anything that's holding us back today. Allah came here to make us like a team. Like, do you know why Ray Robinson was so bad? A long time ago he was bad. He's getting old. Age keep keeping up on him now. And that is a science right there too. Showing no matter how bad you were at the outstop, when old Father Time begin to get on you, it slows you down. Sometimes we're the same way as Muslims. We come in bad. We come in energetic. We come in want to jump over the mountain. Then we find ourselves slowing down. Is that right or wrong? Now either Father Time creeped us up on us or something else creeped up on us. Is that right or wrong? All right, so I watched Ray. Ray is just as bad with this hand as he is with this hand. Is he not? Ray could hit backing up or Ray could hit going forward. Ray could hit bobbing, weaving, ducking. He was just an all-around man. He had perfect control over these two arms and these two fists and these two legs. So that, and this is what makes the black man different from the white man. The black man, by being the natural man and in accord with nature, has perfect control over all of his natural ability. He harmonizes it. He blends it. He rhythm, brother. He be racking your jaw singing the tune. Am I right or wrong? He's different. All that's a sign. All that shows you what you can do when you get in accord with nature, when you get in accord with your own nature, and when you be yourself. Do you understand? Now, whenever a man has to run a race, he has to have perfect control over both legs. Am I right? Whenever a man has to win a battle, he has to have perfect control over both arms, over both fists. Is that right or wrong? What controls his arms? His legs? No. What controls his legs? His arms? No. Neither. His head. The head controls both of them. The head keeps these arms coordinated, and the head keeps the legs coordinated. You must have a head in order to have coordination. You must have a head in order to have a rhythm. In fact, you must have a head in order to have even a body. In order to have anything. That's the coordinator. That's the blender. That's the harmonizer. And this is why Allah had to come to America and raise up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and make him our head. Once the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was placed here as our head, immediately it became his task or mission to coordinate the entire body of 20 million black people here in America. He has the MGT and the FOI. Left hand, right hand. You don't mind called left hand. You don't mind being left hand, do you? Be glad that you're a hand. I'm showing you. I'm listening to you. Some of y'all, if I said it, you say, why he call us left hand? You should be glad to be on the body. Do you hear what I'm saying? Don't never make why? That's like saying, why do he have to call us women? You can't be a man. If I call you a man, I'd be wrong. No, you're a woman. He's a man. You're a female. He's a male. Am I right or wrong? You're feminine and he's masculine. That don't mean he's better than you, and that doesn't mean you're better than he. Same with the left hand and the right hand. If you train the left hand right, it can do the same thing the right hand can, and vice versa. Is that right or wrong? It all depends upon the development of the members of the body. The development of the members of the body is what governs the ability of that particular member. Same with the MGT and the same with the FOI. Same with the sister and the same with the brother. Same with the wife and the same with the husband. If the reason I can't write with my left hand is I never tried. I never trained. I never practiced. It was never trained. I never mastered control over it so I can do with it what I do with this. Well, it's the same way with the black man here and the so-called Negro, 20 million so-called Negroes. One is better trained than the other. One you can control easier than the other. One gets out of control faster than the other. Do you understand? But the only way both of them can be good is to be harmonized and made to work together. Do you understand that? And I hope that you do. Now, one of the reasons why I use these different examples is because I don't believe in taking it for granted that I'm dealing with the wisest person on earth. Ever since I have been a Muslim, I've tried to approach anyone that I'm dealing with as if they didn't know what I'm talking about, and then I go step by step and give them an understanding. I don't take anybody for granted. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Because my job isn't to talk to the wisest man in here. My job is to talk to the dumbest man in here. Because I know if the dumb one is made to understand, then surely the wise one has no excuse. So if I'm standing up here and you think that I'm going around too many bushes to say what I have to say, well, you just talk for yourself. You think for yourself. Because you're so brilliant and you spotted me coming, you say all praise is due to Allah. But don't be putting your little dead brother in the same shoe with yourself. You're way ahead of him, and you'll always be way ahead of him, even when you are drowning in the lake of fire. Because that's where you'll end up. You're too far out in front. Because you're always way ahead of everyone, know so much more than everyone. You plot your own course. No one can plot a path for you. You plot your own. Can't nobody tell you anything, because you see them coming. Can you see what I'm saying? That's why Allah chose the lamb. That's why Allah got the one who is referred to in the Bible as a donkey, someone who doesn't know. And because he doesn't know, he has to sit and wait until you tell him. If he thought he knew, he'd be on out there, and brother, everybody would be in trouble. Do you understand? Very good. Over the when I left here the last time, and I wrote a letter to. While I was here, I noticed things, observed closely, and was much impressed. I've always been impressed with Los Angeles, because having been blessed to have visited practically every city where the messenger has a mosque or a community of Muslims, I have never seen any area as fertile for the spread of Islam as Los Angeles. The people here have always been receptive to the teaching. They've never been overly hostile, and those who are hostile are few and far between. One of the reasons for that is you have intelligent officials here, intelligent minister, intelligent captains, intelligent lieutenants, and intelligent secretary, intelligent staff, period. And they are academically equipped. And when you have people representing you who are intelligent, then the intelligent as well as the unintelligent come out and unite with you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So I say that Los Angeles is and has always been one of the most fertile territories for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad anywhere in America. And I've heard him say himself that he places a great deal of future stress, present and future stress, upon Los Angeles. He was telling Minister John just this week past that of his plans for Los Angeles. He wants the whole city, and he was explaining. You don't have to say, "Yeah, I'm going to tell you how to do it," and the amen don't move me. No kind of applause, don't nothing move me but success. And if you be successful, you knock me out. But if you don't be successful, you need to be knocked out. Especially after you hear Islam. No Muslim has any excuse for failure today. How you fail is when you do things on your own. But when you rely on Allah and His Messenger, then Allah has to make you successful. He is, how they say, there's a messenger got a word for it. Yes, it's incumbent upon, I never could pronounce it too good, but it's incumbent upon Allah to make you a successful if you follow the messenger. Only time you fail is when you follow yourself. Even when you go in business. You open up a business and you're not successful because you had the wrong idea. And you still got the wrong idea. Because if you got the right idea, Allah will make you successful. I don't care what it is. If you got the right idea and the right motive, Allah will make you successful. So I don't care what you're doing. If you're a failure, or if you struck a snag, don't look at Allah. Can't see Him anyway. You're not clean enough. But He can see you. That's why you are in a snag. He sees you. He sees you better than you see yourself. So I'm not deviating, but I'm knocking all these weeds out of the way before we get to the garden. And there's weeds. I grew up on the farm. I never went out to the farm yet. There wasn't some weeds out there. I would weed all day and go back the next day and mop. That weed come up last night. Well, it's the same way. But if a man grows up in the city and have never been out on a farm, he takes weeds for plants. He go out there and try and pick grapes off all of them. He don't know any better. But that old farm boy, brother, he can always tell the difference between a weed and a plant. Is that right or wrong? You all been on the farm, you know what I'm talking about. So, sometimes when you see me taking a long time to hit on this and hit on that, I'm weeding the garden as well as planting the garden. And since all of us are farmers together, we should have a good understanding of each other. When I left here, I was so impressed, especially by the Muslims and the city and the official staff here. And in my opinion, any move that could be made that wasn't being made stemmed more from lack of understanding rather than from bad intention. And so it was suggested that a 4-week program be put on in Los Angeles designed to eliminate all snags and designed to accomplish all objectives. Do you understand? Any program that you put down, you can set a timetable and know exactly where you'll be and when you'll be there, as long as everyone is following that timetable. This goes again when you're in a race. As long as your brain has perfect control over your arms and your legs, you get the proper coordination. You get the proper cooperation, which means you get the proper coordination, and the better coordination you have, you faster race you run. Is that right or wrong? Same way here. If we set an objective and we want to reach that objective by a certain time, then that means we have to have perfect cooperation, perfect coordination by all members of the body. And as long as every member, do you know when you're running the race, even your finger is doing something? Am I right or wrong? Your finger. Watch a man. I saw a man running. In fact, I have run. I got scared once and ran. And if you stop and study yourself right while you're running, and you go on over any part of your body, every part of your body is playing a part. Every little minute, your hair is even playing a part. You run different bald-headed than you do when you got hair on your head. Everything you got is in that race, brother. And if you don't put everything you have into that race, what happens? You lose. Well, this is the same way here. If we can take all these believers, everyone here is a believer. Yesterday, all in here weren't believers. Some were Christians. Some were stool pigeons. We got some stool pigeons in here now. But everyone here yesterday wasn't a believer, and therefore we couldn't expect everyone here yesterday to put everything they have in winning a race or reaching the goal within a certain time. But by everyone here being a member of the body, a registered member of the body, a believing member of the body, whatever objective we set as our goal should be obtained. Am I right or wrong? All praise is due to Allah. I asked the messenger if I could come back for 4 weeks. I know the areas of the country where, from experience, what gets the best results. The same thing that gets good results in one area doesn't necessarily get good results in another area. You have to try different things. But one of the I do know the response that is gotten out of the Muslims in New York and also the non-Muslim public in New York in regards to the messenger's teaching and in regards to the messenger's program. So it is our desire to try and get the same amount of cooperation out of the believers at number 27 as we now get out of the believers at number 7. Some of you say you might resent the comparison. You shouldn't. I'm not saying the same amount of cooperation, the same degree on a ratio basis of cooperation. If we can get 90% of the believers in this mosque trying to reach a certain objective, we got that goal made. But if we can only get 30%, 70% standing and 30% sitting, we're not going anywhere. Because one leg is going this way and the other leg is going this way. One leg wants to walk and the other leg wants to sit. Well, that won't get it. Right. We have to have it. It's better to have two short legs than a long leg and a short leg. Is that right or wrong? Let's understand. It's better to have two short legs than a long one and a short one. We have to agree on what we're going to have. Be equal. Both doing the same thing. And we can go anywhere, we can get anywhere we want to go. But if we can't do that, then we can't be successful. Do you understand? So, I asked the messenger and Minister John if I could come back and try a 4-week program with the Muslims in Los Angeles in the same way that we do with the Muslims in New York. And when I say that, what I'm telling you in so many words is, I think we have the same people in Los Angeles that we have in New York. You can't find lazy people in New York. You can't live in New York and be lazy. Too much competition. Whatever you reach for, someone else is reaching for it along with you. You can reach in your pocket and find someone else's hand in there. Do you understand? So, by there being so many people in New York and so much competition, everyone has to have something on the ball. No one can sit down. Rent is so high that when you get 12 years old, your mother will make you pay rent. You hear what I'm saying? Yes. You get 12 years old, your parents will start asking you, well, do your part. Because it's costing them so much to live. The cost of living there is that great and salaries are so low. The average man in New York makes $50 a week. That's the salary of the average so-called Negro. Some of y'all live in New York. Am I telling you right? No, the average man's salary there, because they don't have no industry. They don't have airplane industry. They don't have automobile industry. The only industry there is the garment industry. Everything else is domestic. There's 4 million jobs and 8 million people. 4 million that aren't working are stealing from the 4 million that are working. 4 million are living off the 4 million. So everybody has to be alert. You have to watch what you have plus what you don't have. And it makes you alert. But it makes you also lose laziness. Anybody you got in your family that's lazy, send them to New York. A lazy man can't live in New York because nobody will give him anything. His mother won't give him anything. She needs what she's got. Papa needs what he's got. This one has to be able to produce something in order to exist. He has to be working. He has to have something on the ball or he can't stay there. But when you come to these other cities where they are hospitable and they have southern hospitality, you can say please and somebody will give you a little something. You can go sit down on somebody. You can stay in the mosque and don't even do your part and they let you stay in here. That's southern hospitality. But we're going to put some New York hospitality down in here. But I didn't have 4 weeks. We know what we want to do, and we know what we can do, but we don't have 4 weeks. We only have 2 weeks. So when you only have, if you're supposed to run a mile in 5 minutes, and someone tell you, well, you don't have 5 minutes, then that means you got to go that much faster. Is that right or wrong? That don't mean you don't run. You don't sit down because they say you don't have 5 minutes. No, run. But run faster than you would have ran. That's the word, ran? Right. Run faster than you would have been running. Had you had more time. I want to make myself clear. I'm not here to make no English lessons. So we have 2 weeks to do what we originally had planned to do in 4 weeks. Before we go into it, I want to thank you and congratulate you on how much better you've been doing during the past month, as Minister John has pointed out, than you were previously. Previously, many of you weren't doing your duty, and you failed to do it with no shame. You failed to do it bold. You were bold in your failure. But I am inclined to believe that you failed to do it because you didn't understand. It's better always to give your brother the benefit of the doubt. Give your brother, that's justice. You give your brother what you'd like for your brother to give to you. So if I see you not doing your duty, I'm not going to say that you're no good. I'd rather say you don't understand. Especially when you are aware of the consequences of failing to do your duty. You would never fail to do it if you were aware of the consequences. Not the consequences from me, not the consequences from the official staff here, but the consequences from Allah himself. Allah is your judge. And I should point out that a Muslim, don't never worry about what your brother is thinking about you or what your sister is thinking about you. You worry about what Allah knows about you. See, Allah don't have to think about it. Allah knows. Allah knows your heartbeat. He knows how many times your heart will beat from the day you're born to the day you die. Allah look at you right now and know exactly how many times your heart will beat. I believe you got some scientists in here. And since y'all put the sun up in the sky, we want you to straighten out this light. That's what I mean when I say, when brothers come to me asking me way out questions, you may get indignant because I give you an answer to get you off of that. Well, I'm doing you a favor. You have got no business in your right mind, intelligently, worrying about something way out, and you yet haven't mastered this right here. Do you understand? I may hurt your feelings if you come to me with some of those way out questions, but I'm doing you a favor. I'm giving you justice. I'm bringing you back down to earth. I'm putting your feet on the ground. I'm giving you what you call it, aerial, I'm grounding you. Because you got no business being way out and here at the same time. Do you understand? All praise is due to Allah. So, where was I? Yes, in this next 2 weeks, we're going to have to do this. Since all of you did so well from our last talk, and I'm here primarily to talk about this. Can you all see this? Yes, sir. Can everybody see this? Yes. Can you all see that? Yes. Good. That's what I'm here to talk about. Because this is what you have less understanding of than anything else. You don't understand this. Right. I'm not saying this maliciously. You don't understand, and when I say you, we don't understand the importance of a dollar and how to use it. Your understanding of religion is incomplete if you don't also have an understanding of economics. Your understanding of dressing your soul is nowhere if you can't dress your body. Will you agree with that? What do you look like feeding your soul and letting your body starve? And when your body dies, your soul is gone no matter how much you fed in. See, you have to feed the physical as well as the spiritual. You have to be able to master and handle and look out for the physical as well as the spiritual. This deals with the physical. This is what makes the physical world go around. And this is what you understand less of. You know, when they said that, I don't like to go into somebody's old raggedy jokes, but I heard the man say that the dentist had a Negro he had somebody in his chair, and he couldn't get him to sleep. He wanted to pull out his teeth. But the Novocaine wouldn't work, or the gas, or whatever they was giving him. So the other dentist asked the dentist, well, what is he? He said, he's a Negro. So he said, well, go in and talk business to him. He'll go to sleep. And I never, when I was, please, I don't want to hear I'm not looking for no hand slapping. I'm here for business. And hand slapping don't get this. So, but what was the dentist saying? He was saying this, that the Negro goes to sleep when you talk business to him. And he does. But you know, this is the thing that makes the world go around. You can't get away from this. What made Lazarus? Wait a minute. Let me see how I can get this thing. Tidy. When a person is tidy, what makes them tidy? This is how you spell this? Tidiness? Tidiness. Right? When a person is in other words, you change the Y to I and add N-E-S. Am I right or wrong? In order to make an adjective become a noun. Is that right? Right. Likewise, when you say that a person is busy, which means they're active. And when a person is active, they're what? Alive. Right. And when a person is alive, he has life. Right. This is life. Right. You don't believe that, do you? You get without it. You are dead. Get without it. You show me somebody broke, I'll show you man is dead. He can't go no farther than where he is. You can't get on the bus. You can't get in the car. You need some gas. Well, you can't go nowhere without money. Do you understand what I'm saying, brother? Don't think that I'm not being religious. When you get the right religion, this is included. The right religion has all the ingredients in it, all elements in it. Everything that you need is in the right religion. Now, in your and my religion in the past, this was left out. That's why we couldn't go to heaven. So, just as so, what makes life? See, this is a adjective, right? And this is a adjective. This is a adjective. This is a what? A noun. Y'all been to school. So let's come back over here and get a noun out of this. And what is it? Business. See, business is life. You in business, you're alive. You out of business, you are dead. You can't get away from that. Now, I'm concerned with the business of the temple. I'm concerned with the business of the mosque. As long as the mosque is in business, you're in business. When the mosque is out of business, you're out of business. Do you understand? You see, there is economic business, there is spiritual business, there is political business. A politician has political business. You have religious business. You have economic business, educational business. All of this are things that the so-called Negro doesn't fully understand. If he understood it, he'd participate in it. He'd do his part in it without any say-so, without any hesitation, without any reluctance whatsoever. Do you understand? All praise is due to Allah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in trying to unite us, is trying to unite us to show us how to do something for ourselves. Once he can unite us, and white man considers him so dangerous because of his ability to unite our people. Dan Burley, I don't know if you all get the Crusader out here. You don't get it, huh? Crusader. Dan Burley had a column in the Crusader a couple of weeks ago, and he said that it's amazing how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad can get so many young people to follow him who have never even seen him. You don't even realize what you're doing. Do you realize that some of y'all following a man you've never seen? Don't you know Allah's God? Why, when you was a Christian, you wouldn't follow someone whom you saw. Now Allah has got you following someone you haven't seen. That shows you the power of Allah. Well, the power doesn't end there. The messenger just don't want you to come out and sit down in the mosque and say, all praise is due to Allah. That's the beginning. That's when you take your first step. But there's more to it than that. And what you and I want to do is get organized so not only can we take a step, we can dance a little bit. You understand? See, stepping is all right. Walking is all right. But when you can use those legs, brother, to put down all kinds of action, then you got it made. Do you understand? Very good. and Friday, tonight, Wednesday, and Friday, that means this week, it's our intention to, during these 2 weeks, the first week, to work on the believers, the registered Muslims, those who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who believe in him, and try and cover and get into any area that will shed light on the understanding of that Muslim. Why I say this again is, sometimes when I come, a lot of Muslims come out that don't come out for 6 months. Well, that means you don't understand. I'm not going to condemn the Muslim that does that. I'd rather say you don't understand. If you come out only when I come here, you are like the people were doing back in Jesus' day. They would only come out when Moses come on the scene, and since Moses was dead, they weren't out. And so when Jesus come on the scene, they couldn't even receive Jesus. They was too much wrapped up in Moses. You understand? So whether without realizing it, you are following the same pattern. You are following the pattern of taking not an interest in the truth, but in a certain man. You don't move me coming to listen to what I have to say, and you are not ready and willing to come out every Sunday and listen to what whoever is here has to say. Because we're all saying the same thing. Do you understand that? No, you don't move me at all. The brother that moves me is the brother that's out in my absence as well as in my presence. In fact, he puts me on the spot by coming out only when I come out. If Allah came and asked you, how come you aren't down at the mosque? And you say, well, I'm waiting on Brother Malcolm. Allah might think that I'm the one that mistaught you that way. No, so when I come, I walk on everybody's head. Do you understand? No, I walk on everybody's head to let you know that I'm not dealing with any personality. I'm here to tell you the truth that God gave to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Don't accept me, accept that truth. And when you accept that truth will bring you out here all the time. Don't wait for me to bring you out, let the truth bring you out. Do you understand that? All praise is due to Allah. So, we have a desire. During the, as you know, number 27 ran up some debts. Y'all know about that, don't you? Wasn't your fault. You didn't understand. When a man goes in debt, he don't understand. I'm here to tell you yes. Because the understanding is the ability, to use mathematics. And mathematics, brother, is mathematics. When you're going in debt, that means you're spending something what? That you don't have. How are you going to spend something that you don't have? How can you spend what you don't have? If you go downtown right now and get a Cadillac, and your notes are running you $125 a month, that's not your Cadillac. That's the man's Cadillac. Not only do the Cadillac belong to the man, now you belong to the man. Because you're working for the man, trying to get that Cadillac. Well, it's the same in anything that you do. If you really understand, you always keep your business in such a way that it's never off balance. You don't spend more than you have. You don't let go out more than you got coming in. Do you understand? What the devil Lincoln did, Abraham Lincoln took you out of one kind of slavery and put you in another kind. I'm going to show you what slavery is. There's no slavery today other than this. What's that say? Right, that's slavery. When you're in debt, you're a slave. Allah came to take you out of debt, out of slavery. Allah didn't come to tell you set yourself in debt at once. He said set yourself in heaven at once. And the messenger teaches us to avoid debt. When you avoid debt, your word can be bond. But when you go into debt, how can your word be bond? How can you come to me and say, give me $200 and I'm going to give it back to you tomorrow, and if you knew where you was going to get $200 tomorrow, you'd have it today. Right. No, your word's not going to be bond. You are breaking off your life. Am I right or wrong? Right. So, whenever the temple goes into debt, and this temple went into debt because you had just gotten the building, and a lot of unexpected expenditures came up that you had to take care of immediately, and so you had to pay that out of something else. So now what you're doing is in a strain trying to get these back debts paid off. It's my opinion that you can pay them off in the next 2 weeks with ease, easier than you even realize. But all we have to do is have the cooperation of everyone. Is that right? The coordination of everyone. We will try also to get the cooperation of the public, the non-Muslim public. The non-Muslim public will help if the Muslims go ahead and take a step. You know, yesterday, and I'm telling you again why I'm going all around in talking about this and not taking it for granted that you know, when they were passing the baskets in here yesterday, you know, when they were taking up the collection? Let me tell you what I saw. I saw Muslims putting nickels and dimes in the basket. Well, I wouldn't condemn you for that, but you don't understand. You can't understand. You're supposed to set an example for the lost found. If the lost found see you take $1 out of your pocket in collection time, then they will take out $1. But what do they look like giving you dollars when you only give yourself a dime? Do you understand me? Understand me, brother, and I'm not trying to, browbeat, but can you see the logic here? If when the collection is taken up and you need money, you need it in the worst way. When the collection is taken up and the lost found who is near you sees you go in your pocket and put a dime or 15 cents or a quarter in that container, while the lost found goes in and puts in a nickel. But if the lost found saw you put $1 in there, he'd say, why, these people really believe what they're saying. They support this program. And since they support the program, I'll support the program. Do you understand? The only way you're going to get the help of the non-Muslim public is first help yourself. When you want the non-Muslim public to dig, you dig. When you dig, they'll dig. When you run, they'll run. When you walk, they'll walk. Whatever they see you doing, they'll follow suit. Does that make sense? So as I said, during the next 2 weeks here, my purpose will be to teach everybody everything I know, which I can teach you everything I know in 5 minutes. I don't need 2 weeks. I would like to put forth my maximum effort to help all of the officials, to help all of the Muslim body, and this week, and then next week work on the general public. Which means that if you don't want to support the program, you don't understand. I'm here to give you that understanding. I'm not here to browbeat you or condemn you because you're reluctant to support the program. I'm here to help you understand, and then you can feel more justified in whatever decision you come to. Do you understand? When I say, some of you probably don't think the officials know what they're doing. Some of you probably stay away for 6 months because you think just like that. Well, okay, whatever you think that I know that the officials here don't know, during the next week I'm going to be teaching them. And then you don't have no excuse to not come out. If that's your alibi. In other words, I'm here to plug up all the holes, to stop all the leaks. Then when Allah come at you with the fire, you can't say nothing to Allah but burn me. And he'll burn you. Do you understand that? Everything that I can teach or say or do to be helpful to the officials, to give them a better understanding of their duty, I will. Everything that I can do to give you a better understanding of your duty, I will, this week. Then next week, we are going all out to try and get as many of the non-Muslim public out to the Garden of Prayer Baptist Church as is possible. And we are going to ask them to help us raise enough money, enough finance to do what we need to do here in Los Angeles. And they'll help. I don't even have no doubt about it. They help us in New York. They help us in Boston. They help us in Washington. They help us in Georgia. They help all over the country. And they will help right here if they see you trying to help yourself. Do you understand that? Don't never reach down in your pocket with some nickels and some dimes when something is being taken up for Allah. Why? You may say, well, when I come on the way in the door, I took care of my duty. Brother, if I go to the mosque and stop in the front and do my duty, and go in and sit down and I hear some teaching and it knocks me out, I'm not going to say all praise is due to Allah. I'm going to give again. Because I know that the same teaching that I just heard that inspired me and gave me the strength is going to show me how to go back and get some more for myself. And don't you think that it won't. If you don't think that it won't, then you are wasting your time sitting in here listening to the teaching. Do you understand that? Can I prove that? Certainly. You can take one kernel of corn, as I mentioned before when I was here, and put it in the ground. What happens? You get a stalk. And on that stalk is 7 ears. And on each ear is 100 kernels. So for putting one in the ground, you get back what? You could never have gotten this 700 if you hadn't given up this one. That's what the Bible means when it says it's more blessed to give than to receive. It only means you can't receive until you give. When you give, then you receive. But you can't show me somebody that's getting something that's not giving up something. Can I prove that? Yes. Name anything that produces life. You have to give. Something has to be given up in order for something to come back. Where you get chickens? From eggs? You could never have gotten the eggs if the chicken hadn't given them up. Is that right or wrong? See, one chicken give up a whole lot of eggs, and instead of eating them, you put them on the nest and put the hen back on them. And if you can sit there and wait long enough, the whole lot of chickens will come out of those eggs. Then you can put one that's laying eggs and another one sitting on eggs. You're in business. Do I understand? Do you understand? Look, if you're greedy and you only got one hen, if you eat the hen, that's all that she wrote. And if she lay eggs and you eat the eggs, that's all she wrote. But if you let her lay some eggs and then put her on top of the eggs, when the eggs hatch, you got how many hens do it? How many chickens do it? How many eggs do a hen sit on? About how many? How many? About 12, okay. So all you got to do is have a little patience. You give up the hen temporarily. You give up the eggs temporarily. I think it takes about 14 days, doesn't it? 21, yeah. So for 21 days later, you got 12 chickens. Why, brother, and if you let them grow up, you can eat 2 or 3 of them and be making the others lay eggs and doing the same thing all over again. But you got to give before you can get. Do you understand? I don't care what you can think of. You can't name me anything you can get without giving. You can't do it. It's impossible. Well, that's the same way with Islam. You get as much out of it as you put into it. You put nothing into it, you get nothing out of it. Do you understand? Plus, your heart is where your treasure is. When you support the Nation of Islam, when you contribute financially for the support of the Nation of Islam, you love here. You don't want to leave here because you've invested in here. Is that right or wrong? But these brothers that don't never help the program, they don't mind going because they haven't put anything over here to hold them here. They'll walk right on back out in the bar and get drunk because they got just as much in the bar as they got in the money. Do you understand? So the best way to ensure yourself never going astray is put your treasure in the right place and your heart will be in the right place. Now, when it says, and I heard the messenger say one day, when the Bible says, don't put your treasure he says, store your treasures in heaven, where the thief and the, what's that other thing? The robber can't get at it. And all that means is, when it says don't store your treasures on earth, it means don't invest in this evil world, where whatever you invest in will be destroyed. But support the Nation of Islam. When you support the Nation of Islam, then you are setting your treasures in heaven, where the thief and the robber cannot get in. Now I'll tell you, whenever I go from city to city, because I realize the importance of finance in the program of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I believe in pressing and pushing the finances, I always make sure that safeguards are set up so that in no way can you be taken advantage of. It's impossible. When I say make sure, that's nothing wrong to say. We have to have safeguards to ensure us that everything always is being done in the wisest manner possible. There's no doubt that you'll do that. All of you all know what this duty slip is. I know you know now because Brother Minister said you've been doing better in this. Brother Secretary of the Cabinet, you've been doing better with this than at any time before. Some of you all are new, and you're not familiar with this. But in Muhammad's Mosque, we have what's known as Muhammad's Mosque number 27, a duty slip, charity. And whenever you come to the mosque, you're always supposed to get your slip and fill it out. And number 1 up here is the number 2 poor treasure. And each Muslim is asked to give how much to that? And that's the least I've heard yet asked to give to it. You can't go anywhere in any other mosque and find them asking to give $2 to the number 2 poor treasure. You're getting a break. The other one is the Savior's Day gift. Can you read that? You're good, because I can't. It's $2.50. Yes. Central Point. I told you couldn't read it. So I call Central Point CP. Okay? That's $2.50. And I'll explain what that is. Now, 3 on yours is the Savior's Day gift. In no other temple is that like that. Savior's Day gift doesn't even count in what you do each week. That's what you do extra. That's not included in your duty. This is something that you do on your own beyond your duty. Yes, sir. Do you understand that? Okay, to explain that. Yes, and number 5, skip a couple for now, is what? Yeah, general treasure. And it's $1. Number 6 is the administration, and it's $1.50. And the number 7 is your mortgage. That pays for the temple, and it's $1. Does everyone understand that? This totals up to how much? $10? This is $10. Oh yeah, I left out the $2. One thing about mathematics, brother, is write an exam. So now, brothers and sisters, those of you who are new and those of you who are old, excuse me for using this, but can you hear this? Does this work? Yes, sir. Is this working? Huh? I don't think it's working. Whenever you have a microphone, you're always supposed to have someone working on it, sitting on it, that is. Whenever you have any kind of mechanical controls, you have to have an operator. You know what I mean? Whenever you have any kind of PA system, wherever the controls are, there's supposed to be a brother posted to do nothing but operate that PA system. He never leaves it. And then this way, that's intelligent. You don't have anything that's not being controlled. Everything is controlled. That's what Islam means. Islam says the nation of Islam does everything right and exact. And there is nothing goes on in the mosque at any time that's not controlled. That's why you investigate everybody at the door. When you know what's in their pocket, you got them under control. So, anyway, can you hear me? The poor treasure is what is used by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad see Chief Parker, the FBI probably hearing better downtown than we are in here. Boy, I've never seen nothing come on and off so much. Do you want me to tell you why that is? I'll tell you. It goes right back to control. In Islam, nothing takes place that's not controlled. Everything is controlled at all times. Everyone has a job to do. Everyone carries out their particular job. And when you see something that is undone, it's because someone is not doing that. And now, why would someone not do it? If you don't have things so well controlled, one person will think someone else is doing it, and someone else will think someone else is doing it, and no one ends up doing it. So in Islam, it's like the stars in the universe. Everything rotates in its orbit. Everything functions and does as it should. As it should. Is that now? Okay, well, we'll forget that for tonight. So this is one of the reasons why we need money. When you have something in your treasure, you have the right, everything can be fixed up. Acoustics, it takes money. Acoustics is what? Correct sound. You don't come down here and say, well, I couldn't hear what the minister was saying. No, come down here and contribute so that the minister can put something in here so that he can be heard through. Do you understand? If you have enough money, you can do any kind of remodeling that you want. You can have any kind of chairs that you want. You can have any kind of lighting that you want. But if you don't have the money, you can't have anything. Do you understand? So, it doesn't mean then that the officials or staff is trying to get money for religious purposes alone, but to make the place in which you have to be taught suitable to do teaching in. Do you understand? This $2 for the number 2 poor treasure is sent to Chicago, and this is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad uses to spread Islam across the nation. Whenever you give to this, you're making it possible for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to be in a position to spread Islam to all these faraway places. The central point is what you send to Chicago for the school. It runs the nation's school. It also takes care of radio program and things of that sort. And the University of Islam is one of our greatest expenses. We have teachers to pay whose salaries need to be paid. We have janitors that have to take care of the school buildings. We have equipment that must be purchased. We have several buses. Each one has to have a driver. All these buses have to have gas. Can you understand? The white man, these other schools are subsidized by the government. Well, we don't look for the devil to subsidize our school. We do it ourselves. So when you wonder what makes it possible for Muslims to have their own school, it's this central point. Every Muslim is asked to set aside $2.50 a week for the education of the black children here in North America. And as our people awaken, this will increase. And as this increases, more schools will be set up. Do you see how that's done? You may see the devil with a beautiful highway. You say, how he build that highway? How he build it? Taxes. He'll say he make everybody set aside when you buy some gas, he got something in that gas, tax, that's going to pay for his highway. Something everywhere. You're the one that's paying for the highway. So since you've been taxed to build a government for this devil and a civilization for this devil, we tax you $10 a week. Allah blesses you to work and make a salary, and out of that salary we tell you that if you will give to the cause of Islam, in no time we'll have a civilization here that will be hiring you. It will be educating you. It will be feeding you and clothing you, and it'll be hiring you. You won't have to be relying upon the devil. Do you understand? Do you understand? So this is to help spread Islam. This is for the education of our children, plus the radio programs that it costs to get on the radio. Whenever you hear Muhammad speaks over the radio, the Messenger's program over the radio, we pay for that. This is paid out of the central point also. $2, this Savior's Day gift, every year on February the 26th, which is Savior's Day, which Minister John will teach you about, we give a gift to the messenger that will help him for the year. He has no other way of getting anything from us. Everything goes for the propagation, the spread, and the success of Islam, for the awakening of the black man. Every nickel and dime that he gets is used for that. So on Savior's Day, the 26th of February, all of us, we used to give $100. This year it's $60, right? Now we have a contest between who? New York MGT and Los Angeles FOI. Brother, I'm not going to tell you what the score is, because you are high. I would never tell you in front of the sisters. But We're going to give you a break. We're going to include, first we said just the New York MGT against the Los Angeles FOI, and you laughed at me. I knew I was safe because I know both temples. What do you say? You know, there's a thing that you're going to sneak across because you got too far to sneak.
Right.
You know, you don't sneak no 10 miles. You sneak a little ways. You just can't sneak a long ways in the daytime. No, at night you can sneak a long ways, but it's daytime now.
Right.
So the sisters in New York already are so far ahead of you, I don't think you're going to catch up by yourself. And I don't want it to be said that the women in New York will sacrifice more thoroughly and more quickly for the messenger than the men in California. That won't be good to say. That won't be good to say. Don't you know if I was in competition with a woman, brother, that woman not going to beat me. She's not going to sneak up on me. I'm going to go and get my battle won first. I'll let loose everything else to make sure I got this thing straight so she can't never say she beat me. That's a man. This is what a man don't let a woman beat him. A man like to be ahead of a woman. And you can't be ahead of her, you can't out-talk a woman. You can outdo her, but you can't out-talk her. Am I right or wrong, sister? Well, you know I'm right. So, what you should do and what we're going to do, we'll include the whole temple. The sisters and the brothers. Because some of these sisters, they'll help. Let them get in that circle too. Instead of us saying we'll find more women in New York who will sacrifice for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we would rather, than you find brothers here, we'll include the whole temple. And then you won't think that we're taking advantage of you, will you? Will you? Well, you'll talk to me because I'm here to talk to you. Okay. So y'all talking the loudest, you haven't even got yours up yet. You hear what I said? Y'all talking the loudest, haven't got yours up yet. No, don't never as a man wait and call yourself going to get there in the finish line. Man is first. Man is first. He's not last. Man don't wait to no last minute to do anything. Man does it. Man is on time. Man is ahead. Man is on time. Do you understand? This is what makes you a man. Don't even let a woman get in the running with you. Why, it would be a drag. And we have to be taught, actually, how to think like men. We don't really know how to think like men. See, when you think like a man, you can act like a man. You know, when you're dealing with a man, he think you're always whipping him, that's a woman. Woman. Either a baby or a woman. A man don't wear his his feelings on his sleeve. A man can take it. A man can take anything you give him. A man can take a whipping. He can take a tongue lashing. Anything a man can take. If he can't take it, he's not a man yet. He's only a boy. This is a man's day we're living in. When you become a Muslim, you are standing in a man's world. Not no sissy world. Not no boy's world. You were a boy when you were a Christian. You shouldn't even be getting angry at me at what I'm saying. No, take it like a man. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to you like a man to a boy. I'm talking to you like a man to a man. I hope that's why I'm talking. But at the same time, I'm your brother. And you're my brother. So is this understood? Now, you're getting a break here. In no other temple is the Savior's Day gift included in that $10. No other temple other than here. This is something that you do on your own, outside of your regular duty. This is a gift. This is not a duty. This is a gift. And when you do this, Allah blesses you, even more so than when you do this. Where is this $2? This $2 is down here in the administration. Why? Anytime you don't have administrators, you won't have administration. You first must have an administrator or administrators before you can have some administrating being done. Is that understood? This administration is supposed to take care of a staff. Minister, captain, and secretary. And that staff is supposed to be free to spend 24 hours a day looking out for the needs of the temple, and seeing that every opportunity and opening is taken advantage of to spread Islam into all walks of life throughout the city. No one has a greater headache or greater responsibility than the minister, captain, and secretary in a mosque here in North America. No one. Brother, I know what I'm talking about. I have, in my short life, been secretary, been captain, been minister, been lieutenant, and been the janitor. And there is no one who has a greater headache and a greater burden than the officials in Muhammad's mosque in North America. Why? Because if it was church, they could make mistakes. But when it's by being a Muslim in the nation of Islam, it must be done right and exact. Do you understand? So actually, this is supposed to be down here, but it's not. And that will have to be left up to you all here. The general treasure is what you have been using to pay off your back debts, which means you need more in that than you have been putting in it. Do you not? And last but not least is your mortgage and rent. And that's what pays off the note on the mosque. The Muslims own this building. That is, they are buying this building, and this $1 per week is what is asked of everyone to pay off the notes on the mosque. So now, if we can get every Muslim who's in here right now to do this, the battle is over. You'll take Los Angeles. But you are not going to do anything when one leg is walking and the other leg is sitting. It just can't be accomplished. And sister, I should point out, in New York, probably women work more than they do in Los Angeles. The women, they got jobs just like the men got jobs. That's true. Y'all lucky when you got a man out working and you don't have to do nothing but sit home and take care of the children and take care of the house and think a whole lot of evil thoughts. You want me to explain what I mean by that? You'll find the sisters usually who are the most unhappy are the sisters who don't have to work, who have nothing to do but sit home all day long. And it's not their fault that they're unhappy. I'll tell you why they're unhappy. They're unhappy because they don't know what to do with their time. They are so savage, really, so backward, so thick, that they got all day and yet don't know how to gauge or organize their time. So they're not busy. They don't know. They're either real busy for an hour and doing nothing for the next 8 hours. That's no kind of housewife. Why, if I come in the house, no, I'm not going to say that. What if I said I was going to, no. But I want to explain that this is true. Usually you'll find the sister who's out there working all day long. She get home, she got just time enough to cook, just time enough to do that before she gets to the mosque. She's happier than that sister that's sitting home, got nothing to be but a housewife. All the complaints that I ever hear from sisters are the sisters that don't have nothing to do but sit home and think up how much they got to complain over. Well, that's the truth. But those that are working, they stay too busy. See, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So when you got a husband that's working for you, and you don't have nothing to do but stay home, plan your day. Have a certain time of every day to do something, and do it. Once your work is finished, don't watch the television. Once your work is finished, find something constructive to add to your mind. Have an hour for reading. And I don't mean read comic books. Read something that will make you know what's happening, so when you get in a conversation, you can sound intelligent, even if you aren't. Do you hear me what I'm saying? Why, what kind of man want a wife today who can't hold a conversation? No, don't a man want to sit up and talk to you about babies, or about Johnny needs some shoes. Your husband don't even want to hear that. One of the reasons you have trouble in your house is you can't carry an intelligent adult conversation. When your husband was dead, you talk trash. That's all you talk, trash. Now he come out, he's a Muslim. He want to talk about Yaqub. He want to talk about the sun, moon, and star. He want to talk about cracking atoms. Even if he don't know what he's talking about, that's what he want to talk about. you won't lose your husband. All of you will agree that your husband is more serious once he became a Muslim than he was when he was a Christian. He's serious. Now, you can't hold no man now like you used to, talking some trash about sister so-and-so. I'm telling you, that'll drive a man crazy. No, go get a book and read it. And then when he come in the house, start talking to him about something that's going to nourish his mind and nourish your mind. Read your lessons and talk about the lessons. But I'm going to tell you a strange thing. I don't want to get on this subject, but I'm going to tell you anyway. See, you've been so far away from this that if your husband sitting reading, studying, he can be reading beside you, studying, something serious, you think he's ignoring you. But if he put down his book and both of y'all sit and watch the TV together, that make you happy, doesn't it? Why don't you think that he can read with you as easy as watch the television with you? I'm going to tell you why. You don't know enough about what he's reading. You don't know enough about what he's interested in, so that when he's doing what he's interested in, you feel left out. But the television is your level. Please forgive me for saying it. But no, but the television is your level. You got a television brain, a television vocabulary, and you live in a television world. Now, as long as your man is spending time with you on your level, you're happy. But when he tries to get you into a world that's based on intellect, that's based on intelligence, that's based on nourishing that brain, you feel left out. And you are left out. I don't make you angry for saying this, do I? But this is good for you, because when you understand that, you know how to get him, and if you got him, you know how to keep him. But if you don't understand it, I'll guarantee you, you won't keep what you got, and you won't get what you got your eyes on. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? So, when we're doing this over here, sisters do it as well as brothers. You working, Allah's blessing you with a job, help you with the program. If you are working the same as your husband is working, then help with the program out of what Allah is blessing you with. This is not a man's program alone. It's not compulsory for the sister to pull away. But if Allah has blessed her with some strength, and she wants to use that strength to help pull the wagon, Allah will give her more strength. And the devil has created a world now where the average woman makes more money than the average man. But, brother, you never will have the real respect of your woman when you got your woman out trying to make you a living. That's not Islam. In fact, I don't. There's one brother, when I see him present in the audience, I got a special subject I'm going to teach that will open up his eyes to something he probably don't understand now. I don't see him, so I'll stay off the subject. I won't never deal with him personally or get in his personal business, but I'll teach on that subject when I know he's present, so he'll see what he's doing. If you see a man that's doing wrong, you don't condemn him. First, you show him that he's doing wrong. Paint a picture of a man that's wrong. And if he see he's doing the same thing that wrong man is, he'll stop. If he doesn't stop, then he's wrong himself. Do you understand that? So, but always remember this. If you're married, you have to be very careful how you let your wife, what you let your wife get out and do. Can make you look very bad. Your wife should always be in an honorable position. Honorable, then you're respected. But if she's not, then you can never be respected. Allah came to uplift her. And by uplifting her, you and I are automatically uplifted. Do you understand that? So, we want the help of the sisters as well as the help of the brothers. How many brothers think they're going to be in that circle by December the 31st? Let me see your hand. You're going to be in this circle. Anybody that doesn't know what this circle is? Anybody that doesn't know what this circle is? I'll explain it to you. I don't see. Anybody that does not know? This is $60 that everybody is asked to give before December the 31st in the Savior's Day gift. It's a $60 sacrifice that everybody is asked to give. Is that understood? And both sisters and brothers. How many sisters think they're going to get in that circle? How many sisters think they're going to get in that circle? Let me see your hands up high, because you all think you're going to get in it too. Well, you might make it. Coupled with the brothers and the sisters, come December the 31st, I might have to eat all the words that I came out here and put out. And I want you to make me eat them, okay? I'm hungry. But you got to do something to make me eat those words. You can't do it talking, and hand raising won't do it. You got to dig in order to do it. You know, when I left here the last time, after explaining this, a lot of Muslims stopped coming. You know that? You're all still here. It didn't drive you away, but some of them stopped. Some of them couldn't carry that load. Some of them weren't, they were just here deadheaded. They were here for a free ride. But when they found out that the captain, Edward, and the secretary, Ronald, was going to check out and see who was and who wasn't towing the line, they just stayed on the way. So those of you who are here tonight who don't want to tow the line, you'll stay away. You'll be out there when Allah comes and sets the world on fire. You'll be right out there then ready to suck down those flames. Simply because you weren't ready to make a sacrifice. Is that understood? When Elijah came to the widow's son, the widow was poor, to the widow rather, the widow was poor. The widow had nothing but a little bit of oil and a little bit of meal. Elijah said, give it to me. She said, this is all I got. If I give it to you, I'll die. She said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make something or other for me and my son and eat it, and then we both going to lay down and die. Because this is all we have left. Elijah said, give it to me. You won't have to worry. She had so much faith in Elijah, she gave him her last oil and her last bit of meat. And Elijah took it and multiplied it and had enough for him and enough for her and enough for her son too. Is that right or wrong? And even the book says even when the son died, Elijah brought that widow's son back from the grave. See, Elijah was a tough man. Elijah was giving life to the dead in the Old Testament. Jesus wasn't the only one who raised the dead, you know. Elijah was the one raising the dead way back yonder. He set the example for Jesus to follow. It's the same way with me and you today. We are following a man who can multiply our oil. He can multiply our meal. He already multiplied our wisdom. I'm telling you, he multiplied our wisdom. He absolutely has given us what we didn't have before. So you and I should be quick, not reluctant, not hesitant. We should be quick. We should be glad that this is all we have to sacrifice to help a good program spread among our people here in North America. This is nothing to be asked for a program such as this. Is that right or wrong? All praise is due to Allah. So do you think, brothers, and also, at the end of 2 weeks, when this 2-week race is over, that doesn't mean that this will stop. But it does mean that by the time we leave, we want the administrators here to be in a position to take the full responsibility for all of the headaches of the temple. We need that, and we are not, you won't make progress. You know why number 7 raised so much sand? Number 7 got a staff that don't do nothing but work for the nation. That's all they do. And we see that that's all they have to do. And they'll spread Islam in every nook and cranny that there is on the East Coast. Because that's all they have to do. The Muslims don't have any problems because that staff has to eliminate the problem. And if the staff can't eliminate the problem, you break the staff. Do you understand that? All praise is due to Allah. So, one last thing, and that's this. As you know, our own newspaper, will be out this week, right? Will be out this week. And one of the things that makes a newspaper independent is advertising. Right. How many Muslims in here are in business? Good. Every Muslim who is in business, has any kind of business at all, should be planning before this week is out for some advertising in Muhammad Speaks. You don't mind that, do you? No, sir. It pays to advertise. Right. Some of y'all got businesses, don't nobody know where it is. When you advertise in Muhammad Speaks, everybody know where your business is. Because everybody reads Muhammad Speaks. Plus everybody who reads Muhammad Speaks is interested in black business because it's a black paper. The best paper to advertise is a black paper. Is that right or wrong? So if you're in business, in the last edition, it costs $2.10 per column inch. It has gone up this time. Captain Edward, I think, has the rates. Is he in here? Find out what the rates are. By a column inch, see, this is a newspaper column. You know, Muhammad Speaks got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So in the last edition, an inch ad would cost you $2.10. You understand? So if it's $2.10 a column inch, and you take a ad that is 2 inches in one column, it costs you how much? $4.20. Okay, now if you got an ad that's 2 inches, hold it now. If it's $2.10 per column inch, and you take out an ad that's three column, there's 2 inches and 3 columns. It would spread over the 3 columns, right? And if it costs you $4.20 for a 2-inch column, $4.20, right? So it costs you $12.60 for an ad this big. So for $12.60, if you got a business, you can send it around the world. Around the world, because Muhammad Speak goes around the world. When you advertise in here, then you send it back to Mississippi and say, Ma, see, I come to Los Angeles, I'm in business. Read about me. You hear what I'm saying? If you take in washings, you can put an ad. Washing. Put your name, your telephone number, and where you want. You understand? If you are a cook and you want a job, as a cook, say job wanted, cook. So and so. I'll work. Good worker. Strong muscles. Know what I'm doing. And you advertise. You understand what I mean? Everyone, I'm just giving you some examples. Everyone who is in business should advertise. Now, when the next edition of Muhammad Speaks comes out, you'll notice that they'll have in it a New England shopping section. Why? All of the businesses in the New England mosques will be advertised in there. New York shopping section, Jersey shopping section. You want a California shopping section. And which means with as many brothers and sisters as are in business here, you should have 3 or 4 pages of nothing but advertising. Some brothers' business is so good, they'd be wanting a 10-inch 3-column spread. That wouldn't cost them maybe but around about $70. And $70 is not too much to pay to have your name go around the world, to have your business advertised in Mecca, in Cairo, and in Congo, because Muhammad Speak goes everywhere. When it hits Leopoldville, the man who he reads it and he gets on the drum. Boom, 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 boom. He starts telling them all inside the book. That's how they read it. They read it, and they send it all into the jungles. Everybody knows what's happening. And then they get over here and it says, Butternut Bakery. Even they hear about the Butternut Bakery. All that goes on around, all the way around the world today. When you got anything in Muhammad Speaks, that's it. Okay? So, either one night next week or this week, probably next week, you get in your mind, Brother Edward, Captain, what's the rate? It went from 210 to something else. Right. I got it. I saw it 2 weeks ago. They changed it. I think whereas it used to be 210, it's now 3-something. It went up. And one of the reasons it went up, the circulation of the paper jumped. And the bigger your circulation is, the better advertising rates you get. And it is the advertisers in Muhammad Speaks that makes it an independent voice. We don't have to wait for the devil. All the Muslims advertise in it. So everybody who has businesses, how many think you'll have your ad ready by, say, next Wednesday night? Cash in advance, no credit. Muslims don't work with no credit. Let me see your hand. Very good. Okay, so you be turning around in your mind the type of ad you want, and you'll go all around the world. If you're a beautician, how many of y'all are beauticians? We got any beauticians? You don't have no beauticians? Sure. All right, if you're a beautician, sister, advertise that you're a beautician, and all the sisters can come to you and let you do whatever you do with their head. See, I stayed in the clear there. But you understand? If you have a sister in the mosque that's a beautician, she should get all the business. She stay busy. Why, your beauty shop should do so much business that you have to get 2 or 3 more sisters in there working with you. That's how you get it. That's how you be successful. You don't go and put your head in the side of a Christian's hand. Why, that Christian liable to be doing anything with your head. Am I right or wrong? No, I like to have a Muslim play with my head. So your head is the most valuable thing you have, brother. Okay, so that's enough of that, and I think everybody has an understanding. Do you think we get cooperation? Yes, sir. How
many think that you'll be able to do your duty by that duty slip? Let me see your duty. You'll do your duty. Some of y'all don't think you will. You're honest. You got nerve too. All right, but now I'm going to tell you, I hope that I'm not wrong, and I feel that I'm not, and I also hope that I didn't waste too many words out here tonight going around in circles trying to get this idea over to you. I had originally planned to map it out in a different way, but I've been busy ever since I've been in Los Angeles, and I'll be busy ever since while I'm here. And the reason we were late tonight, I had to make a broadcast, and otherwise I wouldn't have been late. I don't ever believe in keeping the Muslims waiting 5 minutes for anything. The Muslims are the most important people to the messenger on this earth. And if you're important to him, you're sure important to me. So I will tell you, the only reason I was late, I was making a broadcast. Other than that, I would not have been late. So I ask you for your forgiveness. I ask you to forgive me. And but that doesn't mean I'm going to forgive you if you're late. Because you weren't making the broadcast. If we can get, I would feel very bad if I left here and not produce results. I would feel very bad. I'd feel hurt as well as bad, because I would feel as if you let me down, or I would feel that I had misjudged the potential in Los Angeles. And I don't think I've misjudged the potential, but maybe my own approach to you was not right. I'd rather blame myself. See, if I left and didn't get the results, I'd go away from here feeling bad, meaning I'd be whipping myself. So I hope that you won't make me whip myself like I have whipped you. All I ask of you is, as a Muslim brother and a Muslim sister, do your duty. If you do your duty, Allah will bless you. And if you don't do your duty, Allah won't bless you. That's cut and dried enough, isn't it? One more thing I probably should emphasize is, and it would be, I would be a sin for me not, and that's our businesses. Sisters, you should never buy your groceries anywhere but in our grocery store. Really, I'm telling you the truth. You can sit up here and say amen, hallelujah, and all that. And then you go and spend get your groceries in a Jew store. That's not it. But since you know that the Muslims here have opened a grocery store operating on a shoestring, you have to take that into consideration, do you not? What do you do? If the brothers, and I don't know what kind of setup they have, but Brother Earl is sitting over there. Oh, you all have the telephone number, right? Anybody don't have it? Anybody don't have the telephone number of the grocery store? Anybody here don't have it? I'm going to give it to you. It's AD, I remember that much. What? 20233. What's the address? 5225 Main, right? Now, it's called the Shabazz Market. Brother, you should have a sign up there within the next 2 days. Sir? Yeah, South Main. You should have a sign up there. 4 days? Because you should have had it up there already. If you excuse me for saying that, but you should have had it up there. Anytime I stand up at the Garden of Prayer and ask all those people out there to come out, I'm putting myself on the spot. And so when they come out, then it should be just that. I will stand on my head and try and get everybody here to go and patronize Muslim business. But then those of you who are in business, you have that obligation too. And how you do that is, see, the success of the store is your success, whether you know it or not. If you think that it's Brother Earl's success, you're not going to patronize him. Well, because you're twisted. You are not even a Muslim. You're a Christian. What you call it, a modified Christian. Not a Muslim, a modified Christian. You hear how you tell them? When you see us got a nice grocery store, we have a nice grocery store. I know you're watching my language. When you see we have a nice grocery store, and you will go into a devil's grocery store instead of our nice grocery store, you're a modified Christian. You don't understand. You're giving your money to the devil. So, since you know that our brother is operating on a shoestring with very little funds, we have to devise a plan that will consider that. And if we could get all of the sisters to call their order in By Thursday, Sister Louise, in Chicago, when do they call in the orders? On Thursday, isn't it? Yeah. Sister Lady B is not here tonight, is she? Sister Dolores Jordan, is she here? Where is she? Sister Dolores, what day is it? Thursday and Friday. You see, when you see, but they got a little more capital now to work with in Chicago, so they can give them all the way to Friday. But if you do your shopping on Saturday, all you have to do is call this number. And all, brother, you have to do, since you know all these orders are coming in on Thursday, have someone there who does nothing but take orders. All you have to do is say, who is it? So-and-so, write down their name, write down their address, and then start taking one by one what they want. And if they order something that you haven't got, you got 2 days to get it. And after the end of the order, you total it up and tell them how much it's going to cost them when they come in. So they'll have all that ready. You pay the devil when you walk out the door, don't you? Then you should not hesitate to pay your brother when you walk out the door. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is how you do it. Make sure you do the cooperating by calling him on Thursday and putting your order in. I make my wife do this. My wife can't go nowhere and spend no money but with Muslim. If I find her walking in that devil's store, I'll cut her off. I won't give me no more money. I'll cut off my sunshine, brother. I tell her the sun won't shine on you no more, girl. I'm telling you what I tell her. No. Gonna give you my money and let you spend it with the devil? No, you do me a disservice. Am I telling you right? Sure, I'm telling you right. I'll watch. She got to spend that money in a Muslim store. And as long as she does, I'll give her more of it. But as soon as she want to slip in and say, well, they got something in the A&P. Okay, you go on and get some money from Mr. A&P. Is that all right? All right. Now, so what you do as Muslim sisters, and the sister captain is in here, tell them that every night at the MGT. Have a special night to give them all the prices of what's in the store. Train them to patronize their own. And there's nothing wrong with that. You have to be retrained. You have to be re-educated. Don't you know if a man take a dog and train that dog to walk like this, every time you see a dog will be walking like this. If you want the dog to walk like this, you got to train it. However you want the dog to, you got to train it all over again. Well, this is what the devil did with us. The devil trained us to come to him. And that's what we do. So now we have to do what? Be retrained. So in the MGT system, Captain, have 10 minutes of something set aside every Thursday night. And let some sister who is economy conscious give a lecture on the importance of patronizing your own kind. Our sisters need that worse than they need almost anything else. What do you look like wearing a long, beautiful white robe going to the devil? What do you look like? If you will spend your money for that beautiful robe, spend your money with your brother in the store. You know what will happen? He'll turn around and give your daughter a job. Give you a job. You got all we have to do is first make it successful, and we're making jobs for you. Is that right? I know I may sound like I'm beating the bush, but I'll beat it until something come out. They say you're not supposed to get blood out of a turnip, but I sure will beat on the turnip and get something out of there. Okay, so do you understand how to do this? Every Thursday, send in your order, and the store will take it, and then if you're coming in on Friday or Saturday, they'll have it. And if you get there and they happen to not have what you wanted, say all praise is due to Allah, I tried, and they'll have it next week. And then if you want to go get it someplace else. But then next week, because they didn't have it this week, ask them again. And the way you're going to be successful is everything you find them asking for, make a note of it. And always have what they ask for, and Allah will bless you to be successful. Do you understand that? Now, the reason I take time to emphasize that tonight is, if all the people in the neighborhood see just you in here right now going in that store, everybody in the neighborhood go in that store. If all the people in the neighborhood see you going in there, but if there's a store there and you don't patronize it, why, how in the world you expect them to patronize? And don't go get a can of beans. Go and do the same thing you did at the Safeway. Get your wire basket and walk around in there and get everything you can think of. And if you don't see everything you want, then you go someplace else. The brother got all kind of meat in there. Any kind of meat you eat, he got it. He got fish. You got fish, brother? Fish, yeah, he got fish. He got all kind of fish. Floating, flapping, everything. So we'll look to see you up there. And we have two bakeries, Eden and Butternut. Butternut's on Central, isn't it? And what? 4118 Central. And Eden is 5020 South Normandy. You eat bread, you should never get any devil bread. The devil couldn't give me no. I haven't had devil bread in 7 years. Actually, 7 years. The devil couldn't put none of his bread, cookies, none of that stuff inside. This, no. I know what he does in that bakery. That old dirty devil, brother. I know what I was doing if I was working in the bakery. Well, he walk around in that door with his feet. And you talking about going in there and sitting down and eating some of his bread. No. Be thankful to Allah that you can get bread from your own brother. Do you know if everybody in here got a loaf of bread from their own bakery? Why, good night, that brother couldn't make enough bread. Can you see what we got here? Why, you got power here, brother. But that you don't have power when it's dissipated. If you go in one place and shop and I'm going to another place and shop, that's like when you have a garden hose with many holes, that water comes up, falls right back down. When you got one hole, go all the way across the street. Because it got power when it's centralized. But when you spread it out, you lose all your power. Same way with purchasing power. When you are buying in the same place, you've got power. And when you're not, then you are throwing away your power. Is that understood? Is there anything that I have left out? Yes, the restaurant. Everybody, the brothers took their wives to the restaurant last night. I saw those sisters in there so happy. Some sisters I hadn't seen smile since I've been coming to California. Right. They were sitting in there last night like they was nightclubbing. Well, you see, nightclubbing is all right in your nightclub. Right. But your nightclub is the restaurant. Right. Your nightclub, they don't have no whiskey and any of that stuff in there. Right. So if you're going to take your wife someplace, you want to take her out to the restaurant. She'll love you, brother. She'll be happy all the rest of the evening and the next morning. So since both of the restaurants, the Egyptian and the Oasis, are near each other, when you go to one and it's crowded, go to the other. Go to the other and it's crowded, go to the other. All of us were right there together. Is that understood? So don't never, and if any of you are here, anybody here who hasn't, I'm not going to ask that question. I started to ask if there was anyone here who have never been to the restaurant. And I wouldn't ask that because that would embarrass you. If I were to ask you right now if there's anyone here who had never been to the grocery store, I would be giving you an injustice. No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't expose you like that. So make sure before I leave, in case I ask it all of a sudden, you won't get caught napping. That means you got a week to get straight. Go by and have some coffee or some ice cream. They got some of everything good over there. I eat over there, and that's where I get all my strength. You wonder why I talk so much? They got some talking food over there, brother. If you don't talk and you eat their food, you will talk. And if you talk too much, you eat their food, it'll stop you from talking. It's good for whatever area. Do you understand? But anything you got wrong with you, just go to the restaurant. Let a Muslim feed you, and you'll be all right. Is that understood? Very good. So we're going to let you out early enough so you can go by there tonight real quick. Some of you missed last night. And I would say, too, that whenever you go in, I form this habit. If I see two Muslims, especially an official, with someone in a public place, I'm careful how I approach that person. Because the minister could be in the restaurant with somebody that's not a Muslim. It might be a business conversation. And you might just take it for granted that because the minister is a Muslim, that's the Muslim he's talking to. So you walk up and say, Assalamu alaikum, brother minister, and then you get to the other person and say, Assalamu alaikum, brother. He don't know what you're talking about. That's not an intelligent person. No, that's a savage. Brother, don't you know a Muslim is so keen, he's feeling his way along all the time. I wouldn't walk up to you. If I don't know you, I don't walk up to you and say, Assalamu alaikum. I walk up to you and I'm looking for some kind of sign. I may have to say hello. I want to know, where are you? No, you be the same way. I called long distance to a certain temple one night, and they answered the phone. Assalamu alaikum, Muhammad's mosque. That's no way to answer no telephone. What if that's not a Muslim? What if it's the devil? No, you have to know how to act at all times. So when you go to a public place, when you begin to go out And you can walk in the restaurant right now and tell those who come out often and those who don't come out so often. Those who are out often, they blend more easily. When you don't get out much, you don't know what to do when you get out. Is that right? You don't even know how to act. You feel nervous. Some of the wives, some of the sisters, your husband keep you home so much, don't never let you out to the restaurant or anywhere else. When you get out there, you don't know what to say, how to act. That's right. You don't know what kind of move to make. Well, that's not your fault. That's his fault. You should take her on out there and train her how to be happy and friendly and sociable when she's out in public. Is that understood? All praise is due to Allah. Yes, and if you go in there and there's a devil in there, you don't go in there acting like that. That's not your business to do that. When you're in a public place, when you're in business, you're going to have everything in that restaurant. If a devil is in there and you're working in the restaurant, you handle the devil with just as much politeness as you handle an original. Always. You don't never walk in a brother's place of business and because there's a devil in there, start hitting at the devil. No. How are you, sir? How much money are you going to spend? Do you understand that? Shake his hand and then you're intelligent. You know why I say that? I see the messenger do it. I see the messenger, brother, when devils come in the store there in Chicago. How are you, sir? What can I do for you, sir? And you know, a lot of times he's had trouble with Muslims because some Muslims are so fanatic, he give them a job and they run all his business away. So I've seen the messenger have to go in and train them on how to handle customers. And he shows them. He said, what's the next one come through the door? And when they walk through the door, how are you, sir? The messenger walks in, they know his name. How are you, sir? What can I do for you? And when you can do that, you'll be successful in business. No one who can't smile should ever go in business. No, when you're in business, brother, go like this. Keep you a smile all the time. And don't never tell anybody your troubles. Don't let somebody come in your business and you talking about, I ain't making no money. Or my wife is getting on me. Or my children don't act right. Why, you lost your customer right there. No, they don't want to hear none of your problems. I don't care what your business is. Nobody want to hear your problems. When they walk through the door, how are you? You're supposed to look like you're the doctor. What can I do for you? Anything wrong? Why, brother, that's what make people come. You make them feel at home, like they're a guest, and like you're the host. And you'll always have somebody in there. Is that understood? And Allah will bless you. And the reason I take so much time to say this, too, is because I heard the messenger talking to some devils just the other day, telling them he's not here to teach a lazy people to sit down. He's here to take a people who have been sitting down and show them how to stand up. When you go in business and you're successful, you are rightly representing the messenger. When you go in business and your business is a failure, you are misrepresenting the messenger. So I'm as much interested in the businesses that the Muslims are in as I am in the mosque. Do you understand? Telling you that Yaqub made the devil, that's okay. But after he made the devil, then what? You've got to know something else. Just knowing that he made the devil is not going to put some bread in your stomach. So we must also be taught how to civilize our people and how to get our people on the road towards civilization, which means how to be independent, how to do something for yourself. And if you and I as Muslims who are right here and are believers, if just for the next 2 weeks we can set an example, visit our businesses. When you leave here, when Lazarus leaves here on Sunday, do you know I can come out here and teach on Sunday? There can be 30 or 40 lost founds here. I can say, let's all go to the restaurant. 90% of those lost founds will go. It's you that are reluctant to go. I can say to the lost, now let's all go over here to the grocery store and stock up. Do you know that 90% of them will go? But you. But now, what if you went too? Why, not only would all of these go, but all of them in the neighborhood would go. So one of the main things we have got to do is get coordinated. Let's all move at the same time. All move in accord or in unison with one another. And Allah will bless us to take over the whole world. Take over the whole city. Right now you're doing better than any church in this city. Having a church in Los Angeles got a shoe shine parlor, much less a store. They've got nothing. Have they? All right. So the start that Allah has blessed you to make, support it. And He'll give you a chain of stores all over Los Angeles. If just you right here would patronize that store, 6 months from now we have 3 more stores open up. 7 months from now we have 10 stores open up. Shabazz. In Philadelphia 7 years ago, we had so many Shabazzes. Everything was Shabazz. Oh, devil said, who is this man Shabazz? Right. They had Shabazz trucks, Shabazz variety, Shabazz restaurant. Shabazz shoe shine, Shabazz newspaper. Everywhere the devil look, he sees Shabazz popping up. Well, that's the way you'll be successful. Shabazz is the best name to use in business. And spread your businesses everywhere. But just don't go into business to put on a front. Know what you're doing. Don't just run out in deep water. Know what you're doing. And Allah will bless you with success. Okay? Now, before I dismiss is, remember your duty. And Allah will bless you. Remember that Wednesday night, we're not having anything tomorrow night. Purposefully, we're not having anything tomorrow night because to give you a chance to get plenty of sleep tomorrow night so you can come out Wednesday night. And MGT Thursday night, and then you come right back out Friday night. Sunday afternoon, we're going to have our regular meeting here. Sunday night, we're going into the Garden of Prayer Baptist Church, and we want as much of the public as we can get. Every one of you, when you go out now you're going to be at the Garden of Prayer Baptist Church next week, 3 nights. Sunday night, Tuesday night, and Thursday night. We're putting on a revival and we're putting on a drive. During those 3 nights, I'm going to ask these non-Muslims in Los Angeles to help us and put the Messengers program over, help us financially. So when you come out to that church and you see that, you save $1. Can you do that? That means put aside $3 next week for the Garden of Prayer. Sunday night, put $1 in that basket. Tuesday night, put $1 in there. Let Lazarus see you do it. Don't sneak it in. I hate to tell you to put on a show, but do it, brother. Go in your pocket and... And you do the same thing here. When you see that basket back, don't sneak it in. Now, when you sneak it, I know what you're doing. You're sneaking those pennies in. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, afternoon, Sunday night, Tuesday, Wednesday night, Thursday, we won't have any MGT week from Thursday. Y'all understand that in advance, don't you? We have to be at the Garden of Prayer. And Friday, that's about, I forgot now, about 8 times. That's about 8 meetings we're going to have, and we're going to be on a financial drive every time. So that means I don't care what you're doing, remember that basket when it goes around. You set an example. Go and find some money for Allah and His messenger. And then, who is it for? Yourself. Because all I'm here to do is try and help you pay your debt. That's all. And your debt is my debt. Your debt is our debt. When you're in debt, the messenger is in debt. When you are spread out, the messenger is spread out. So in helping you, I'm helping him. In trying to help you, I'm trying to help him. Is that understood? Very good. Have I forgotten anything? Any statement or question or argument anybody want? Any statement, announcement, or anything that I have forgotten? Left unsaid, said too much, didn't say enough of? How many are going to the restaurant tonight? How many are going to stop for 5 minutes at the restaurant tonight? You don't know whether you're going to make it unless your husband take you, do you? So you have to look over here and see that he raised his hand. How many of y'all going to take your wife to the restaurant tonight? Take your wife out. I know it's late. I can understand. Okay, good. Some of you are. That's good. Allah bless you. If you don't make it tonight, you can make it tomorrow night. But we're going to let out real early tomorrow night, give you a chance to make it. How many going to take her out not tomorrow night, Wednesday night? How many going to take? Why don't you take her to dinner one of these nights? She'll never forget it, brother. I'm telling you, I don't care how much food she cooks for you at home. Take her out once in a while. I do it with my wife once in a while. And she don't know what to do. She fall all over me. She just get all beside herself because I'm gone all the time. And if I take the time to go and take her out, boy, that lasts for 2 or 3 months. That's a treat. So try the same thing. Okay? So I thank you, and I hope that you will never forget this. Every night that I'm here, I'm going to say, remember your duty. And you just run on back if you forgot it and take care of it. Okay? Also, by the time we leave, I hope that Allah will bless us. Maybe, as you know, Brother Minister John had an architect draw up some plans to make some renovations in here, which are necessary. And one of the most important things that is needed, in my opinion, at number 27, you need some chairs, and you need them bad. You know, you look better when you got This can be a beautiful place. Chairs have a lot to do with it. And I say that from experience again. You should always have the same. Do you know it's better to have all raggedy chairs than to have some good ones and some raggedy ones? Because you know a raggedy suit don't even look raggedy until a man come along that's not raggedy. That contrast always makes it. So you don't never put no raggedy chairs up next to some good chairs.
Thank you.
I have never felt like a woman before in my life until today. Because I have never given the 5 husbands I had a chance to be a man. But I will say this, I have never tried to deceive one. Because before we ever signed the marriage certificate, I told him, you meeting me with a pocket full of money. If you don't like the way I'm going to treat you, you're going to leave me with a pocket full of money. Don't try to put a knot on my head because I'll put 2 on you. I'm tired of fighting. Honestly, I'm not saying anything to be cute or smart or to get. I'm well known from coast to coast. I don't need no publicity. But I want you women to take a look at me. I'm tired of fighting. And I can't, but now don't get me wrong, I can fight. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I'm glad that she spoke the words that she did. Because you don't realize what a serious problem we have. But you and I are looking in the wrong direction for the solution. The solution to our problem is inside our house. Inside our house. That's where all problems start. Problems don't start out in the street. They start inside the house. And if some of our women if they were just strong enough to be objective in their analysis, they would actually agree that they can't ever feel secure until they have a man. I mean, a man, a husband who is a man who will do for you what a man is supposed to do. You don't have any security, and you don't feel secure. I don't care how fat your pocketbook is. There's no woman can cease her frustrations unless she has a man whom she can respect. I don't mean just a male that you can twiddle around your thumb, but a man whom you can respect. And when you find a woman who has a man whom she respects as a man, usually she's very peaceful. She's very satisfied. She's very serene. She's very happy. But when you find these women who are so independent, so bold, so, they scare a man to death. Yeah, scare him to death. And after they scare him, they're not satisfied. You can crush a man. You can destroy a man. And after you destroy him, you're not satisfied. And this is something that you and I should learn. We should learn how to help men be men, not destroy them. And our men should learn how to help our women be women. In which it takes understanding on both sides. And the very fact that, say in the past 50 years, since women's suffrage, I tell you, I go right back to it. When was women's suffrage? 1919. 1990. Take all the women back beyond 1919. My grandmother, your grandmother. They didn't have no divorce problems, husband problems. My grandmother married my grandfather and sent him to work every day and stayed married to him from the day up until they died. She didn't even worry about him being attracted to another woman. And her dress was on the floor. Here you got yours not to your knees, but above your old rusty knees. A man can see everything you got. You haven't got the sense that my grandmother had. You didn't see nothing she had until you married her. Put that ring on her finger, tied that knot, and agreed to work for her until death do you part. And then she lets you embrace her. But you, man, can get anything you got. Anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Why should he marry? You have become a foolish woman. Your grandmother had some sense. She realized what her most valuable commodity was, kept it locked up, kept it covered up, and never had to worry about a thing. Now here you are, still excuse me for talking like this, but I'm going to tell you some talk that you don't need to interpret. And I'm not talking vulgar, I'm talking facts. I'm trying to show you what your problem is. You got to work now from morning till night, and then come home and take care of some children, because you don't know how to get a man and keep him, because you don't know how to be a woman. This is a problem. It's a sociological problem. It's a psychological problem. It's an economic problem. Now it's even a political problem. The thing has gotten so way out of control, way out and beyond control. And if you and I, as husbands and as wives, don't get some kind of understanding of this and come and try and examine it realistically, then we're always going to have a worse problem than what it actually is. I might add, we don't confine our women. Muslim women can be lawyers, doctors, bank executives, any kind of career that you can develop for yourself, good. But you should never stop being a woman. And this is where you make your mistake. You want to be a doctor and forget you're a woman. No, if you're a doctor, you're a woman doctor. You're not a doctor, you're a woman doctor. He's a man doctor. If he's a doctor, that don't make him stop being a man. If you're a doctor, you shouldn't stop being a woman. Whatever your career happens to be, remember, you're still a woman. And the basic things that make you a woman, you must know how to cook. Be a doctor, but also know how to cook. Be a doctor, but also know how to sew. Is that how you spell sew? Be a doctor, but also know how to, what's that other one? Yeah, have some babies and know how to take care of those babies. Be a doctor and also know how to care for your husband. This is what makes you a woman. You're not gonna be no woman without a husband. You're not complete until you have children. Are you? Are you? You don't even feel right until you're a mother. Your greatest desire is to be what? A mother. I don't care how much doctor or lawyer you are. You are not complete until you become a mother. You can't be a mother without having a husband. You can't keep a husband unless you know how to be a wife. And that involves knowing how to cook, how to sew, and how to act at home as well as abroad. Right or wrong? So don't say that we hamper you or we destroy your career. Seek a career, master a career, but also know how to cook and sew and rear your children and care for your husband and act at home and abroad. Then you're a woman, a good woman and a beautiful woman. But you can be everything else that's outside this circle, and I'll guarantee you, you won't never be complete. Grandmother was everything else, but she was this too.